Hey everybody, welcome to the show. How you all doing?
Hello, hello, hello. Happy
Oh,
Monday.
happy Monday. It is Labor Day.
Yes,
If
it
you're
is
in the
Labor Day.
US, if you're where I guess it's technically Labor Day everywhere if you celebrate.
Right. Yeah. Well, not here.
Yeah, not there, not here
Not
either.
here.
Not here
Yeah.
either. Yeah.
I
But
got a day off out of my own volition.
oh,
So
that's cool.
that's,
Well,
that's a little different.
no days off for me. Never a
Yeah.
day off for me.
Yeah.
Always.
Of course. I mean, you got to
So
run your own thing. I mean, it's what it is.
yeah, you never get a day off. Well, welcome, gents. We got a lot of people jumping on already. We got Ho Chi
Yeah, I know.
Young, we got Starcy, we got Stu, we got Bumpkin, we got Razvan, we got Winky. We got a lot of the crew
Yeah.
already
Hey,
in.
it's that Labor Day goodness. That's why they're able to, wake up so early.
Wake up early. What are you thinking?
Wake up early.
Oh my
That's
god,
right.
I woke up early this morning. Like after this show, I'm just like, I'm out. I'm done. I did the gym right before like I always do. I always do the
Yeah.
gym before the show, and it's just like, oh god, I'm just. Ugh. But the bulk today is officially. We'll talk about this later too. The last day of the bulk, like the try to put on muscle and stuff. So
Well, that was my yesterday, but
okay,
that was my yesterday, but it is. I get it. I had a nice fried rice for breakfast. Uh, yeah. So that was the end of my carbs.
that was
That
it.
was it.
Carb day
I
over.
kissed I kissed it goodbye.
You gotta have
That was it
some
for me.
carbs. I mean, the incredible bulk. Yeah,
Some like we'll get into it a little bit, but like
yeah.
yeah, today's the official start, first week of our cut challenge, 8-week cut, and
Well,
we're gonna
actually,
talk
not
about that.
today's the official start afterwards because I do have some. I have a drink here, so actually two
Well, like okay, then fine. Tomorrow for you.
for me tomorrow. You get one day head start on me.
Yes. In the grand scheme of things, it's not going to make that big of a difference.
No, I hope not. So during the show, we're actually going to kind of discuss and get your guys' feedback, guys and gals' feedback on how we should
Mhm.
kind of rate this. I think it's not. It's not really. It's. There's no competition per se. It's just do your best to try to be
Yeah.
a little healthier, a little better going into
Mhm.
the fall. Everybody does like the
Yeah.
spring. I'm gonna look good for the summer, and I want to have my summer body. But I honestly tell you, I think going into the holidays, I like to do it. I always end up doing like kind of a cut around this time of the year,
Mhm.
but going down into the holidays because once you hit holidays you're gonna ramp back up, right? It's like
That's
all the
right.
carbs, and so we're gonna
Yeah.
run this thing through September, October, and then come November, the gloves are off again.
Yeah. Usually it's the other way around, right? So like you get you do your bulk through the summer because you get that summer body, and once you got the summer body, you can kind of let it loose a little bit and ride out the rest of summer. So at the end of summer, right, that you've kind of put on the little bit of the pounds, a little bit of the weight, and then you go into the winter time. So that's the super gym bro cliche thing is to say, right? Oh, summer bodies are built in the winter, bro. You know,
Yeah, you
it's
bulk
it is
up and
what
then
it
you
is.
cut down
Yeah,
and all the muscles show it's underneath, yeah.
that's right, man.
That's
Summer
it.
bodies are built in the winter, bro.
That's it. Yeah, man. Jeez. Let me change my
Oh
camera
man.
angle. I feel like I'm kind of slouching today. There we go.
So hope everybody's doing well. Hey Razvan, thanks for stopping by anyways. And you caught up at work. Hey, it's all good. It's a Monday. It's a Monday for everybody. Thank you everybody for stopping by on this lovely Monday. Marty, thank you. Thank you for hanging out.
There we go.
So yeah, yeah. So since you're the one that's still gonna have a normal evening, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? Well, I got a little warm up of old fashioned I made. Like
Nice.
just a small one, like just a little simple
Just
single,
a
like
little one.
just
Okay,
did a
good.
little warm up because for the show. But I do have this. The reason is I got this because
Oh, that does
it's
look really good though.
Moon Festival, and that's always yuzu is the thing, pomelo yuzu,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, right? And this is from, of course, my favorite. I mean, these guys. Hey, Taihu, sponsor us for real. We'd love to have you. Like, you guys are freaking awesome. Hey, if you're watching Taihu, seriously sponsor us. Taihu Brewery. They always do something good. This is a 5%er, so I'm actually, to be honest, I'm going a little lower. If I'm gonna do some imbibing, partake in the alcohol, I'm gonna stick with more out like hard liquor.
Yeah,
It's
liquors,
per
clear
punch
liquors.
much lower calorie than doing a
Yeah.
beer. Also, the higher alcohol beers, like the 9.99s we usually get, end up being way up there. This is a 5, so it'll be a little lower.
Yeah.
So like yesterday I watched, I've kind of been getting back into F1 and,
Oh,
yeah, I know, right?
really?
Weird. Yeah.
Really?
Like, I know, right? It's like out of nowhere. Like, what F1? What?
Football season has started. What are you
Well, I
doing?
can't
Anyways,
watch American football here, man. I can't. Like, I can watch
well,
like
neither can I, but like
Premier
I'm really
League.
contemplating just like buying Game Pass and just like
Well,
watching it.
I think on Amazon Prime, you can do
Yeah, it's on
Thursday night.
Prime.
You can do Thursday
Yeah,
night football only
yeah.
though. That's it.
But I
So
don't know if it works outside the country.
I know.
That's
I
the thing.
think it's which I've got a VPN.
So,
I can just run my VPN and get it.
so
So
I do as well. But I think what I'll do is I just probably end up buying NFL Game Pass because Game Pass works with my Apple TV, and I can just I can watch all the games on Game Pass.
oh, nice, cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the same commentators as, you know, whoever is on ABC or whatever. You know,
Right.
but I can watch the games, so I can just pick whichever one it's on.
That's cool.
I can just watch it. I'll
Yeah.
just rewatch it. You know.
Yeah, and I like I said for me, like weird. I don't know why I got into because like the producer, she's really into badminton.
Right.
Taiwan's got some solid freaking players in badminton. I've been watching that with her. It's actually pretty competitive. It's like it's actually enjoyable to watch. And
Yeah,
then
there are some sports out there that I feel like it's way more enjoyable to watch the ladies play than the guys play. And I'm not saying that's purely for aesthetics, right? Like I find ladies volleyball way more engaging to watch than the dudes because with the dudes,
agreed.
you know, with the dudes, it's just a power fest. Who can spike the ball harder?
Yes.
Like, okay, to be very honest, it just takes the fun out of watching volleyball. I could care less about men's volleyball. But ladies volleyball, there's some tactics to it, right? I watched the producer play, like because they can't hit as hard or jump as high, they really gotta like think about, okay, where am I gonna set the ball? How am I gonna play defense? How am I gonna spike the ball? How am I gonna, you know, protect the net? All this, and I'm like, this is way more engaging than watching the dudes play.
Yeah, my sis used to play, so I know exactly what you mean. Like women, I feel like you're right. Men's, it's just like Hulk smash, you know, like and
Exactly.
Just, it's it. It's like set spike, and then nobody can block it, and then it's just set spike, nobody can block it. But
Yeah.
with the women, I feel like you get a better experience.
It's
like, I
a
agree.
way better experience. And I think the same way for tennis and the same way for badminton. You know, I just like I find it's a way more engaging sport watching the ladies play than watching the dudes play.
I like the
'Cause
ladies
again,
and
it's just-
badminton mixed. They have mixed doubles, and
Oh,
those
yeah,
are
they
really
do,
good
they do.
too.
Yeah, 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 man. Like for real, like watching some of these sports, like some of these sports are way better watched than watching the guys play. Like if some of you guys have never like sat down to watch a volleyball game, ladies volleyball is definitely the way to go. I mean,
Olympics.
yes, okay.
I'll only watch the
Let's take
women's.
the aesthetic out of it, okay? Like, yes, of course. Well, of course you want to watch ladies volleyball. True, there is that, right? But you know, it's way more fun to watch than the guys, for sure.
Yeah, I agree totally. Like I said, Olympics come around, I watch it. Beach volleyball, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of beach volleyball.
Me neither.
I like indoor volleyball, like the team dynamic and the rotation, everything. I think to me, it's I don't know. It's a better environment. Like I love watching them like run outside the line and try to get a ball back in, you know. And
Yeah, yeah. Raz Van, beach volleyball is the best. Fair enough. Hey, I know definitely know people who really enjoy beach volleyball. The producer is one of them. So, you know, it's just I feel like it's just since I'm such an outsider looking into this sport that I have absolutely no clue about, you know, I prefer just the regular volleyball over beach volleyball. Is that good?
it is good. It is yuzu beer. Like
Nice.
there is a
It's not the
there's
Taiwan beer, yuzu beer, right? It's just, you know, it's actually well made.
it's
yuzu
like beer at the bottom, and you'll like it's like 1/3 beer layer. You can definitely taste the proper beer in there, and then like 2/3 yuzu on top. Yeah, the who was I? Oh, competitive lumberjacking, Bumpkin, dude. I've watched that. Those guys are freaking nuts. Have you watched competitive lumberjacking? Oh, dude, don't. Hey, seriously,
Oh,
do
come on.
not,
This
do
cannot be
not
a real
laugh.
sport.
It is absolutely real. Competitive lumberjacking. These guys, the way, like what they do, how fast they can cut these stupid things down, what they like, how it's athletic too. It is for real. I remember it was like,
hey, I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
it's
I
like
mean,
watching the
if
Highland
there's-
Games. You watch the
if
Highland
there's-
Games?
Yes, I do.
Those are good.
I mean, like, if there's really such thing as competitive drinking, then there has to be competitive lumberjacking. I mean, like, come on.
Well,
like,
isn't that
just-
beer
all right,
pong?
fair enough.
Beer pong's
No, like,
competitive
no,
drinking.
dude, like, there was a while that
Right?
it was like a couple years on a couple years ago on Instagram. It seems like actually there was like teams, right? Team USA drinking team and all the other people, and then they're like doing competitive drinking. I'm like, what is this?
competitive. I gotta look this up. Competitive drinking.
I don't even know if it was a real
I've
thing or
seen.
not, but I
I
kept on
can't
seeing
be.
it.
It can't be. I've seen the. Because it just sounds like, oh my god, like just a trip to the hospital of
It
death.
would just sound like something the Scots would win every year.
Yes, they're international teams. Yeah. It's like, and we're in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the finals of the competitive drinking competition this year. It's Scotland versus Ireland for the 25th year in a row. They're back at it again. We're 5 days in on their final round. Still no clear winner.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be it.
Today's beverage of choice is
Yes,
Jameson.
Jameson. Yeah,
Oh, and the Scots are complaining.
Scots are complaining. Yeah, well, we know it.
The Scots are filing a complaint.
Yeah, filing a complaint. They're already yelling at the judge. We got a yellow card out there. Yeah, I can see this.
So you're drinking a beer. I am drinking a fat burner. This is Mango Habanero by Bucked Up. This is a private label.
Oh, bucked up. It's good stuff.
So-
What do they? They put like deer antler, right, or something.
Deer antler velvet in there. So when I was one of their sponsored people a while ago, they had a Q&A that we had to study. So just frequently asked questions, when people want to talk to us about the pre-workouts and stuff like that. What's so special about them? Oh, that's so good. So one of the big benefits of deer antler velvet, outside of helps you recover a little bit more, it helps muscle growth, stimulate muscle growth a little bit more. The one thing that really does help you is libido.
Yeah, I've heard the deer antler always is like, I always hear it, even in Chinese medicine, it's used as a libido
booster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's why it was a really easy pitch to a lot of my friends here in Hong Kong to try it, because they're like, because they Eastern medicine, they've been using deer antler velvet, in all kinds of stuff for a long time,
for like centuries, for centuries. So it's like, for sure, people are like, okay, we understand this. Yeah. That's actually, I didn't think about that. So you were probably, it was an easy pitch for you to.
It was a super easy pitch for me to some of my friends who wanted to try, because I was like, yeah, it's got deer antler velvet in there. And like, what? And so I let them try it, and lo and behold, they all came back and told me, oh man, yeah, definitely,
that's good.
Got some extra feelings.
Yeah. So I haven't tried. I've never tried. I've seen the buck up at GNC and some other places. I will grab. Actually, I'm getting low. I've got the producer on this fat burn, this non-stimulant, like, so no caffeine fat burn from Ghost. It's their Ghost non.
Right. Yeah.
And I've been trying hard to find. There's not a lot of people that have a fat burn non-stim. Does Bucked Up have one? I think Bucked Up's like
this one. So this one is their Heat Hardcore.
Yeah. So it's
this is the really this will make you sweat. Just like, it'll make your internal temperature heat up, because it has a very strong thermogenesis.
Yeah, thermogen. That's what I got for her. Hers it's the same thing. It's got a lot of thermogenics, but no caffeine. What about yours? Does it have caffeine in it?
This one has no caffeine in it.
Really? So the Bucked Up. Oh, maybe
this one has no caffeine in it. But like, this one's got a bunch of other stuff in it that really like. So there's two, right? The normal one is just Heat. So Heat is just it's a pill, right? You take it. And then you take it like maybe once in the morning, once in the evening, or once in the morning and once before you work out. I only took it like once after lunch, actually. I used to take it after lunch. And it just kind of, the Heat, all it did was to kind of help your metabolism, right? And boost your metabolism, got some thermogenics in there to help you kind of get some of that water weight out. So what it does is, like, if I'm working out and I take a pill, like a Heat pill, before I go and work out, I'll sweat a lot, because it kind of does work with what you're doing, like what your body's doing. So it kind of helps you shed a lot of that water weight. This Heat Hardcore is that like ×2. So also, like, the flavor is great. This is mango habanero.
Is it spicy though?
Mango juice.
Is it really spicy?
Spicy mango juice.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of heat to it. Like it's
because the producer doesn't like heat, doesn't like spicy.
Yeah. This is delicious. I think you would like this though. This is like, like when you go have like fancy tacos and have like mango habanero sauce.
Yeah.
This is exactly what it tastes like.
Okay, I'm down. I could totally.
So
do
the
that.
current pre-workout I'm drinking now is called the Bucked Up Woke AF.
Oh, Woke AF. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Miami flavor.
Miami. What's it taste like? Fruit punch?
It tastes like watermelon and pineapple punch.
How's that Miami?
It's really good.
Like, what's it taste like? $100 bills and blow? I I don't know.
It
What does
tastes,
Miami taste like?
it
I
tastes like
mean,
$100 bills and
and blow
regret.
and regret.
And regret. So and I love the fact that like in all their bottles, like especially all their fat burning bottles, they always say this product must be used in conjunction with exercise,
Yeah.
because if you just pop it, you're not gonna feel much, good to it, tastes like sand. There you go,
Tastes like
private
yeah.
bunker. There you go. Salt water and
Salt
sand.
sand. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I have to try some of this because I've been really digging the Ghost because I mean any brand for me like, and this is something good for those of you that want to get to work out. I think Mark and I have discussed this a bit or touched on it. We'll talk about why. I'll tell you why I like pre-workouts, and there's two reasons, but I'll give you the I think the biggest reason for me. You cycle on and off yours. I will take it sometimes. I won't take it sometimes. Meaning, because I mean, these are like a whole bunch of chemicals, right? There's like beta alanine
Right.
and L-citrulline and arginine, a bunch of like amino acids and stuff that gives you the tingles and the pump, meaning gets all the blood going in your muscles, and it's good. But a lot of high caffeine too, and you will start to get used to that. Like I do 2 scoops of my stuff, and I like Ghost because it's not as my top end's about 250 milligrams of caffeine in a single dose. Above that, I start getting a little weird, like just like there's like just this fogginess feeling I get, where it's just
Right.
that overdose of caffeine. Like I have some stuff that's like 325,
Yeah.
and the problem I don't like is that I get the right amount of the other stuff, but their caffeine, they just crank it, and it just ends up. I don't know. I just feel like, something's not right. I don't feel good.
The
If my
worst
body
thing,
off.
the worst thing about like so a lot of people when they so okay, let me rewind first.
Mhm.
So the reason why like, I've been taking pre-workout for I think now I've been going back to the gym solid for almost about 8 years. So for me, I started taking pre-workout year one. Like 6 months into me doing this, I realized I wanted to, run faster, hit harder, jump higher, right? And I was like, how can I also achieve my goals at a faster pace? Also, the biggest part was like I have my gym at the time when I was in Hong Kong didn't open till 7. And so there's no way I can work out in the morning. And I realized I would try to wake up super early, like do the 4 o'clock thing, do the 5 o'clock thing. I just couldn't do it. Right. Even to this day, when I drink pre-workout, I still couldn't do it. I just like, it's not because I can't wake up, it's my body doesn't function that early
I'm the
in the
same.
morning.
I do all my
Right.
working out in the evening because
Yeah.
my morning, I don't
Yeah.
like, I won't, I go to the gym. I just don't have, like, I'll only be able to give 80% of what I know I could. And even if I
Exactly.
give 100%, my morning workout will be 15 to 20% less of what my evening workout would be.
Yes. So like for me, the pre-workout for me, number one was it is just my big pick me up after work to get my brain focused and then going in, putting in the work at the gym. Because if you're not doing at least 3-4 days a week, if you're not doing at least an hour and a half, you're kind of just spinning your wheels. I hate to say it, but that's just the truth of it all. So what you want to look at now, going back into what you're saying with caffeine, when you are looking at pre-workout, try your very best to never buy something with a proprietary blend. Now, a lot of people are going to sell you on, oh, it's so good, so good. But the worst part about proprietary blends is you don't know how much stuff they put in there. They'll tell you what's in it, but they don't tell you how much of it is in it.
Right.
So a lot of times you fall for stupid marketing BS, or it's like, oh, this is the beast blend. And this is what Muscle Farm used to do until they had their Black Series, because they got a poop taken on them because they were sponsoring the NFC. And so until the UFC, until they had to do the Black Series where they had to tell everybody exactly what was in their blend, right?
Because some of the
So
stuff they'll throw in these blends are actually things that certain sports don't allow.
yes,
Now, it
that's right.
doesn't mean that it's like an illegal substance. It just means it's something that's not allowed because it's considered a performance enhancing drug in that sport, and they don't let you do it. I mean, for example, you can't take an asthma inhaler unless
Yeah.
you're prescribed it for asthma before competing in the Olympics. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that are okay normally, but you can't do when you're a professional athlete. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm with Mark. My biggest thing, and I think it kind of runs parallel to what Mark's talking about here too. For me, it's a psychological thing. Now, yes, when you take these pre-works have these chemicals in them. They're like the beta alanine. I love the tingle. Like your whole body gets tingly. Some people don't like it, like super tingly. You got a little bit of caffeine in there. You got some stuff that'll help you with the pump and all that.
Yeah.
They also have like the neuropics, which we've heard us talk about before.
Yes, yes,
It's a
yes.
big fancy word for something that helps you focus, right?
Yes. So that's what I was getting into. So when you're looking at the ingredients of your thing, so when you look at high stimulant pre-workouts, right? Don't just look at how much caffeine it is. There's a lot of other things that help you
I'll go
with
grab mine. You keep
being
talking.
high stim, right? And I'll go grab mine later too. But you go do your thing. So what you want to look for is when you are looking at a pre-workout, if you see a high caffeine number, you also then want to go figure out where is the amount of nootropics that they have in there to kind of help you focus. Because when you're overstimmed, you cannot focus. So you don't want something that's like advertised, wow, this has got like 500 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, okay, you're gonna sip it, and then your head's gonna explode, and you won't be able to look straight for the last, 30 minutes. So then you're definitely gonna get diminishing returns. So I'm telling them like, we look at pre-workout, and you look at high stim.
Yeah.
When you look at your caffeine number, you also want to be able to find where that nootropic is and see how high the serving is. So that kind of should almost run parallel or should be about, the same.
Yeah.
So, that kind of helps you with dealing with a lot of stimulant, but then keeping you mentally focused. Because if you're super high stimmed and you don't have enough something in there to kind of help you keep that focus, you're just going to be spaced out. You're going to be overstimmed and your head's going to explode.
Exactly. There are certain things that will bring down, I forget what it is. There's some things that will help you bring down the jitters from the caffeine. And like you said, that focus. So what I like, and I think it's a good example, because this is probably one of the more popular brands out there in the market today, Ghost. These guys do what Mark talks about. Same with like the Bucked Up brand. They tell you everything they use. And in fact, a lot of the ingredients they use are from major suppliers. So they'll say, hey, we use this brand, like they have like a ginseng type blend. It's from Astrogen, and that's a company that makes this ginseng blend. And it's they're like, we use this from that company over there. So they're very clear. And same with Bucked Up. Any major really good brand is going to tell you exactly what they have in it and where they get it from. And what I like about this, and I think Bucked Up does the same thing, is they use natural caffeine.
Yeah.
So, and I found the artificial caffeine versus natural, like from coffee bean extract, it does hit me very differently. Yep. So natural caffeine, it's a lot more chill, and you don't feel that crazy jitterness. It's like when you drink a cup of coffee or you pop some caffeine pills. It's a very different feeling. This is like the coffee vibe, and I like that. And plus, Ghost is pretty cool because they do a lot of like partnerships for flavors. So they do like Sour Patch Kids. They got like red berry and stuff. This is one I take. My producer, I got this one for her. She loves grapes. They have Welch's grape juice flavor, and I'm like, oh my god, like the best sour grape you've ever had. To be honest, the grape is even better than the Sour Patch Kids, and this tastes just like Sour Patch for real, legit. And I have Swedish Fish. Don't buy the Swedish Fish. It's, God, terrible. But the burn we were talking about is this. Mark, I don't know if you've seen this one. So this is the burn non-stem. And it's the Warhead. If you guys,
Warheads.
The Warhead Sour, the black cherry, which is, oh man, this one is crazy tasty. So this one has a lot of the focus, and it has all these like burn in it. And it tells you exactly what's in there. So they have like Grains of Paradise. They have the Panax Ginseng. They've got a bunch of Mitoburn, which is like not a proprietary, but a company that creates a burn. Like it's amino isoburic acid. It's L-beta amino isoburic acid. They have hydrocitric acids, differently acyl L-carnitine, and Carnipure brand. So they're using all the major brand stuff. Again, there are a bunch of brands that use good stuff. This, Bucked Up, none of us are sponsored by any of these people, but if you're gonna get something, this one is the burn. This one is like designed. I'm gonna tell you, I tried it out. I was like, okay, cool. I'll do the 2 scoops. I'll give it a 2 scoop run. You don't get the jitters because there's no caffeine. My God, I sweated like crazy. And it's got to be what you're like. I did the same exact workout. I was dripping. I'm like, what is up? This is wild. I mean, no lie. It's the first time I was like, oh yeah. It says, oh, it's going to make you sweat, blah, blah, blah. They talk about it. I'm like, whatever. No. Yeah. No. There's no BS.
So
But
to answer your question here, Luke, you go first, John.
I was gonna say, but the thing about these things, like there's a
Hmm.
lot of the stuff. There's bonuses about having this, helps you focus, stay focused on your workout, all that. For me, it's pretty simple. My money's hard earned, right? I think all of us are in the same boat, right? So for me, once I scoop this out, because this stuff isn't cheap. I mean, it's like $50 for a tub. It's
Yeah,
40, 50,
it's
50
like
bucks for 25 servings, right? So you're,
it's actually more than that, but it's
yeah,
close enough. Yeah.
yeah, close enough. I'm telling you, like it's, yeah, I'm just rounding down, right? Once I scoop this, I'm like, crud, I've spent money. I'm committed.
Yeah.
That more
Yeah.
than anything,
Yeah.
more than
You're invested.
exactly, more than anything. Like, okay, so like, I'm like, sometimes you're just like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym. It's not a, yeah, there's a million excuses to not go and one reason to go to get stronger, healthier, thinner, whatever your one reason is, your main reason. And once I put this in, I'm like, well, crud. Like even today, I was just like, I'm dead. I got up early. I have no energy. I'm toast. And I did my 2 scoops and I was drinking it. I'm like, well, I can't waste it. I can't waste this now. I
Yep.
got to go. And that to me is the biggest reason to do something like this is at least the way my brain works is like,
Mhm.
I've paid, therefore I've committed.
Yep.
I'm going now. Plus, once you guys start getting the tingles, you're like, oh, tingle time. All right, it's gym time. There's other psychological factors once you start doing these
That
things.
is correct. Well, just to quickly answer your question there,
Hmm.
Luke, their deer antler spray, I have not had any specific experience with that one particularly. Um, a lot of people say it's really, it's good for, great for recovery. A lot of people say it's like, oh, can't doesn't really do much for me. The only thing you want to look out for is it does contain IGF-1 in there. IGF-1 is a recently unregulated substance for like bodybuilding and stuff like that. So it really depends on like what you have to do. So for example, like if your job requires you to like take a P test, or like if your job is kind of sensitive that you can't take certain chemicals, then just I would stay away from that one specifically.
If you're like a truck driver or
Yeah,
something where, if you get into an accident, they're going to like test you for everything under the sun. I would say
yeah,
absolutely steer clear
yeah,
of anything that has a banned substance. Look for things that say, and you'll find them. They'll say banned substance free,
yeah,
specifically on the labels,
yeah,
banned substance free, and
yeah,
that will help you
yeah,
avoid anything where it might flag a test. Even though
yeah.
you'll probably not fail it, you don't want to
Mhm.
flag a test and be in a bad situation.
Yeah. So it's not a human growth hormone. It's not an HGH, and it's neither a performance enhancing drug. All it does is it increases the recovery of your muscles. It's the natural chemical and hormone you find in deer antlers, and so some people are a little touchy about it. Some people don't care. I think the what was it, FIBA, IFBB, just lifted their ban on it. So like if you're into bodybuilding, you can use it now, right? I think it was up to 2008. They said it was a no, but I think it was post 2008. They kind of redid a study on it and said, to be honest, it really doesn't help you with any build. It's not a growth hormone. It's none of that. So you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I've never used it myself. I never felt like I needed to, build a stack that hardcore. I did use their BCAAs though. They're good. They're an intra workout instead of a post workout. So like if you want something to kind of sip on to kind of keep you going for a longer workout, I would suggest maybe one of the BCAAs in conjunction with their pre-workout. And if you really want to go hard, then just get the fat burner as well. So if you want to get like a stack, that's the one I usually go for.
But to be very clear, if you're starting out,
Yeah.
I would say don't go once you got to learn. You're going to get newbie gains. By the way, we'll talk about what newbie gains are too, which are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to love this. If you guys have never been to the gym before, you just like once here, once there, you're not regular, or maybe you just do cardio because I'm going to lose some weight, which we'll talk about why that's not the right way to do it. Just do
Yeah.
cardio. And this is all proven. This is all not, we're not just like, oh, it's the best way. Like,
This is not bro science.
yeah, same bro science. This is like, hey, there's real reasoning behind this. We'll explain it. I would do the first thing, and you can get a million of these so cheap. So cheap. Creatine. All right.
Yeah.
So if you plan on doing weights, like weightlifting, you want to build some muscle, I would highly recommend, this is the most studied supplement on the market, period. It's been studied
Yeah.
for decades. It's been proven. It works. It has pretty much zero, near zero side effects. Aside from if you dose too heavy, it'll give you a bit of a stomach ache. Kind of like, oh, it kind of hurts for a little while, like 20, 30 minutes, and it kind of goes away. This is the one thing you should be taking. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get into your system. You take 5 grams a day, which happens to be 1 scoop of this. This stuff is so cheap. I think this was $15 for 60 servings. You can buy this, and there's going to be companies that are like, oh, well, there's this version, it's better, that's ground up a certain way, or we have this monohydrate version, and the monohydrate, oh, no, the monohydrate's not good, the hydrochloride, whatever is better, and the anhydrous one. There's like 3 different versions. Let me tell you right now, the studies are all done. They're all the same. Get the cheapest one. For real, they are all the same. This is found naturally in red meat. So, by the way, if you're vegetarian, no bueno. I don't think you can take this. So check into it. I don't think it's vegetarian. I'm pretty sure it's not. But this is basically what helps your muscles fire and work. Yeah. This is one of the major chemicals in your body that gets used up extremely quickly in your muscles when you work out. So this will give you an extra rep. Maybe it'll get you that extra 1 or 2 pounds or that extra kilo, get you moving to the next set. This is probably, and it has been proven to put on muscle. It's the only thing out there that really is proven to do it, period. That's it. Aside from taking something illegal. So if you're going to do it, do this. It takes about 2-3 weeks to get in your system. Like you got to load in and then just take it every single day. If you miss a day, it's not a huge deal. You can also, there's like a way to load this. You can like take a lot in a day, like do like 4 scoops throughout the day, 2 scoops, like 10 to 20. If you want to get it in your body quicker, I wouldn't waste your time with that because it'll upset your stomach. You'll like, oh God, it hurts. It's like just too much. You can find this everywhere, anywhere. I mean, I can find it in Taiwan. You can find it, it's whatever. It's everywhere, everywhere. Creatine monohydrate, get the basic stuff. It works. Like if I'm going to tell you to do one thing to supplement, if you're going to do weightlifting, any kind of weightlifting, and you should be doing weights. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. I don't care what you're doing. You should be in the gym lifting weights. 3, better 4 times a week, but you can even ease in on 3 if you're doing like a cut. Like I'm going to probably switch to 3 a week now and do 2 heavy cardio days. I know, Mark, you're doing probably 4 and 2.
I'm probably going to do 4 and 2 or 4 and 1.
Yeah, 4 and 1. I'm going to try. So you can try 4 and 1. I'm going to try 3 and 2.
So like I'll kind of tell you guys, like we'll get to like how we run our workout at the next segment.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the boring stuff first, which is what we have to eat.
Oh God. Okay. No,
dieting.
It's not really boring.
It is compared to talk about lifting weights. It's not the fun part because it's the part no one really wants to listen.
Well, wait. Do you want to talk about? Well, do you want to do it now? We're gonna lose everybody. We'll push it back to the end.
No, let's hit it now, and like we'll just talk about like what you're gonna do and what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And then why you're gonna do that and why I'm gonna do that, and then we'll just move on to the fun stuff.
Yeah. Bag of chicken breast. Stu, you say bags of chicken breast, but that actually isn't gonna get it done.
Yeah, you'll get diminishing returns within like 2 weeks of that.
Yeah. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
I would yeah, but you're not gonna get what you're looking for. I think Mark and I have like a slightly different approach on what we eat, which you'll find what works for you the best. Food, I'll say this, what you eat matter. Like if you're going to the gym and working out and you're doing your thing, you're in the gym, lifting 3-4 days a week, you're doing some cardio, couple days a week, whether it's just walking on a treadmill, walking 10,000 steps a day, like you can get shredded. And I'm not lying, walking over 10,000 steps a day. If you eat correctly now and you go do weights. So if your cardio is 10,000 steps a day, every single day, plus weights 3 to 4 times a week, I would say 4 if you could, 3 if you're super busy. Don't do less than 3. Otherwise you're just kind of wasting your time.
Yeah.
And you get out there decent. I mean, and you don't have to do like 2 hours of cardio either. Like my heavy cardio days, like I take classes, but when I was shredding all my fat off my body, I was doing like 30 minutes a day. Food matters much more than anything else.
Yes, it does. And it's again, it's the super cliche thing to say, but like if you want abs, 80% of that is what you eat, right? 20% is working out. It's not this mystery of like I'm just gonna go do 1,000 sit-ups a day. Okay.
He's
Like, trust me, I've done that, but I also supplement that with what I eat, right? So let's get into what I'm gonna do. And what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna slightly kind of explain the whole chicken breast thing as well. So because I do also mix chicken breast in what I do. So I'm not gonna say
Mhm. I do
chicken
too.
breast no good, but you have to understand your body is a machine, right? Your body is a machine, and when you go and feed it the same thing, it starts to be like only extracting what it needs because it's getting the same amount of stuff. And then you're going to start getting diminishing returns. That's why a lot of these guys, when they teach you meal prep, they always tell you to change it up, right?
Hmm.
1 week, you're going to do one protein. The next week, you're going to do the next one, right? Always change it up to force your body to kind of have always absorb all the protein that it can. So for me, I break it up into 4 major protein types of fish, pork, chicken, beef. And that's how I run my weeks, right? And I mix it in one a little bit with a plant base, right? So like I'll maybe have like a week where I'll do fish and tofu, or fish and beans, right? And that's what I'll do for my major protein portion. Then for my carbohydrate portion, I'll probably just do like a very super small thing of rice, right? Maybe a 200 grams, 250 grams, maybe just 200 grams of rice, and that's about it for me. And then I will go and eat salad and stuff like that. Drink water, of course. And so for me, what works well for me, even though Japan is the land of double carbs, I go to a place called Meshiya, and it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. You can kind of pick whatever you want to eat, and they have a great salad section. So I'm gonna do a base chicken salad or whatever salad that they have, and then supplement it with whatever fish or pork or whatever that they have at the day, and then that will be my main meal, which is lunchtime. And then for dinner, um, I do a piece of chicken breast from the convenience store with a small bento. The great one I would recommend, especially Ho Young, you're here too in Japan. Their small sushi set from 7-Eleven is fantastic. It's 4 rolls and two like the tofu wrapped sushi. So it's just right. It is just the right amount. Like it's just the right amount, a little bit of carb. It's got a little bit of the fish and the stuff in the sushi, and so that works well for me. And then a lot of the convenience stores, you can just buy the meat standalone. So you can buy like chicken or pork or beef or fish or whatever standalone, and I'll just eat that with whatever I'm eating at the time. And then cutting down the drinking and drinking this.
Yeah.
So
This
I will do maybe like one cheat day a week. I think that's good for your mental health.
it's not a
uh
cheat day, Mark. It's
yeah,
reward day.
it's what it
All
is.
about it's reward. I call it reward day. Reward day for
I,
me.
I I don't like to call it reward day. For me, I'll call
Reload
it what it
day.
is.
I mean, I'll
It's
straight up have a
it is.
pizza, dude. I mean, I'm like, I go wild on the reward day. Because also you need to do that. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll kind of talk about like, so Mark kind of hit like, you can hit convenience stores, you can do salads and just best thing to do is make sure you're adding a protein to the vegetable. You want to have a protein. You do need a carb.
Hmm.
Everybody's like, oh,
Yeah.
no carbs. I'm doing no carbs. Like you cut your carbs out, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
You have no
That's
energy,
why.
no sugar, no, it's not going to convert sugar. And there's some things your bodies will do, and we'll talk about that in a second. Um, but yeah, stay away from anything sugary drinks. This will pop your weight up. Like you, like tomorrow morning when I get on the scale, my scale's going to show that I had this. Now, the next day it'll be gone because it's bloat, but it's going to show that I had a beer because your body's be like, oh, what is this? It's alcohol. I'm having reactions to it. I got to get it out of my body. This will also block your ability to absorb protein. We'll talk about that. Alcohol takes priority. Your body will purge the poisons from your body before it takes protein and synthesize this. So you're like, okay, I had a great day. I did my workout. I did this, ate great. I'm having a protein shake. All right, I'm going to crack open and drink 2 beers. Your body's going to say, well, this protein, we're going to let it pass through. I can't deal with it right now because I got to deal with this alcohol that's in your system because this is
Yeah.
poison for you and I got to get it through your liver and out the door. Right?
Yeah.
So it's going to prioritize the processing because your body will clean toxins first, then process your healthy stuff. So you got to be careful when you're like, oh, I'll just have a beer or two every night. It's not a big deal. Oh, I didn't hit my numbers. Let me drink a protein shake, which are important. We'll talk about the protein shake. Well, guess what you're doing? You didn't hit your numbers. You put this in you. That protein shake you drank is probably just going right through you, or
Yeah.
2/3 of it is. It's not even getting used, and that's a waste of money. So what I like to do is I do a lot of poke bowls. I used to. I kind of burn out on them. I get a half rice, half salad poke bowl. So you get like this small little like 100 150 gram, maybe most 200 gram, like Mark was saying, amount of rice. I would always opt for brown over white. Anything is whole germ. Quinoa is better. Purple rice is awesome if you can find it where you are. Those are all really good things. And I get the salad because it's in there. I get like a vinaigrette dressing, so like a ponzu typically, and then the fish, and that'd be like my fish day. Or I get chicken and fish, and I'll maybe do a double thing of protein. Sometimes I'll get like soybeans added and eggs. So I'll have like whatever my fish protein or chicken, I'll add soybeans and eggs. So I'm getting protein from 3 different sources.
Yeah.
Which is like Mark talked about, mix up your proteins. If you're just eating chicken breast, you're only getting one kind of source of it. And eggs are awesome, by the way. They really are.
Here's the thing, right? You know, with the whole chicken breast thing, a lot of people get the chicken breast idea because you see bodybuilders do it, and they do this hardcore carb cut, and they only do this for about 2 weeks, right? And that's leading up to competition, and they don't do this sustained year long. I'm just chowing down on the chicken breast. Look at The Rock, man. The guy eating fish and eggs and beef and pork. And if you can get even better, if you can get wild meats like venison, that's excellent. This is all fantastic for you. If you haven't noticed yet, guys, take everything that you're taught about like the nutrition triangle, which is BS, by the way. Take that and throw it out the window.
But you almost want to flip it upside down.
You almost want to, yes. They're telling you to eat all this carb, all this grain, right? Not a bad thing for you. I mean, humans have been eating bread for thousands of years, eating grain for thousands of years, but not like how it is right now. Not like how not like how you're being told to eat it now, right? It should be the other way around, right? If we got no protein, we can't build muscle. We can't build muscle. We can't, your body has no fuel to run, right?
Yeah.
And your body does weird things.
Yeah, it does. But before we get too far down this path, the first thing you need to know before you start eating, and this is going to be something you guys may not like, depending on where you live, this could be good. If I'm like here in Asia and Taiwan especially, it's hard, so I have to kind of do it manually. Until you really understand what's called macros, right? Which is your carbs, your fats, your proteins. The three major. They're macronutrients: carb, fat, protein. There's 3 things. How much you need of each, right? The best thing to do is go online, type in how many calories can I eat in a day if I want to lose weight, right? And you'll put in your height, your weight, your age, and it's going to spit out a number for you. It's going to be like, okay, cool. You're here. This is your number you can eat if you want to keep the weight you are today. If you want to lose this much weight, like you want to lose a kilo a month or, a pound a week even, if you want to go that much, here's below the number that you need to be. I highly recommend not going more than about 400 calories below, 400 to 500 max below your maintenance number. If you go too low, you're going to starve your body. What happens? Your body's going to go, oh my God, I'm being starved. Like this is our caveman brain, right? Yeah. Oh my God, I'm being starved. I have no food. Oh, I better take what I'm getting and turn it into fat and store it. So you'll end up like, why am I not losing fat? Because you've actually dropped, like you'll lose weight, you'll lose muscle. Your body will literally burn the muscle off your body and keep the fat because it thinks you're being starved. So it's like, well, let's use this up because it's readily available. I can burn muscle quick. Yeah. I'll eat up your muscle, but I'll keep the fat because if this continues on, you need something we can store, man. Like you're going to die. So don't go below like 400 to 500. So you need to know that number.
I was going to get into that too. Good, you got into that.
Know your number. Not like, oh, I'm going to have like 1,000 calories a day. You're going to hate yourself. I'm like it. If I want to go hardcore, I'll do like 1,800 on a shred, 1,850. And I'm a hair under 6 foot. I'm like 181 centimeters. So right under 6 foot. I weigh right now 83 kilos. I'm a little up. I got a little bit to lose because I've actually been bulking. So that puts me at like what, 183 pounds, 184 pounds, something like that. I want to get down to about 175, 176, which is going to be about 80 kilos. 80, 81 is where I want to be. I think it might be pushing it too much. We'll see. To lose fat, so you have to build, the cornerstone, and Mark will talk about this. One, if you want to lose fat, you got to build muscle. You have to. You cannot just get on that treadmill and run.
Yeah. Lose fat 101, build muscle.
You have to build muscle. If you are not lifting weights, you are absolutely going to yo-yo. You're going to bounce right back. As soon as you stop working out, and I've been right there. I got on the treadmill. I ran like crazy. I'm like, yeah, I lost so much weight. And you change. Second you stop, the second you cheat, the second you're a week off, bloop, 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 bloop. You see those numbers just stack back up. You're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Now, if I go like 2 weeks and I'm like, oh man, I went on vacation. I went to the States. I ate like pizzas and cheesesteaks and all that. I came back. I'm like, oh, I'm only a kilo heavier than I left. It's because I built a foundation of muscle. So my body's burning more calories. The more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn.
Yeah.
Period.
It's just normal physics, right?
Yeah.
Muscle's heavier than fat. You require more energy to move something that's heavier. So your body's going to require more energy to move more muscle mass.
Yep.
Fat is way lighter than muscle.
Fat
So that's
plus
why
fat doesn't move. Fat has no activity to it. A muscle has activity. So the more muscle you have, to move that muscle requires energy. To move fat requires nothing.
So if you want to talk about fat burning or weight loss, right? So there is such thing called caloric deficit, eating a little less than what what you were talking about, right? A good rule of thumb is when you're eating, eat to where you just that feeling of hunger is gone. Don't be like I'm so stuffed. Don't get to that point. Eat to where you're just is just a good rule of thumb, right? When you eat to where you're just fine, right? Just you're fine. You're no longer hungry and stop, right? That's the great starting point, right? If we're talking about coming in as kind of like a newbie, getting your newbie gains, right? You before taking the deep dive into counting your macros, just go to where you just I feel fine right now. I'm no longer hungry. My brain is not distracted because my stomach is growling. You're fine.
You may not be
that's the number
full.
one thing.
You may not be like, I'm
yeah.
full, but I'm like, okay, I'm not hungry. And there's a big difference. And you got to listen to your body. And that's super important to learn being not hungry and full. Because here's the thing. You can eat a little bit again in a few hours. So what I do when I get to that point, I'll eat. I'll be like, okay, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm good. I stop a lot. I leave like a lot. I just put it in the fridge. I'll eat it later. Or later on, I'll go, okay, I'm looking at my macros. I'm like, oh, I'm short on protein. Because I'm trying to build muscle, so I'm going to be a little higher on the protein scale. I'm like, oh, I'll just go drink a protein shake. No big deal. I'm going to get my, because those are like, I can get 30 grams of protein for the cost of like 140 calories.
Yeah. And if you don't have a protein shake, what I do sometimes, I'll just go drink a glass of milk.
Low-fat milk.
It does it for me. Yeah. I'll just go drink, like now I'm to the point, I'll just drink full cream.
Yeah, you can drink full cream milk if you watch your
I can
fat
afford
content.
to drink full cream.
Yeah.
I'm happy enough to say I can do that. But yeah, you can drink some, skim milk. There's some of that high calcium stuff. It's good. It's good for you. So to get, that's the number one thing. Number two, again, I am not going to disparage people who do body weight training. Joel, Freedom 762. But the problem with people who just do body weight training is you don't have a psychological incentive to go do something, right? When you are paying to go to the gym, your gym membership is burning a hole in your pocket. And it's always staring you in the face. Hey, you're paying for this and you're not using it.
Yeah.
And it's that little bit of oomph that's going to push you in there to do something, right? People like a lot, unless you have the absolute mindset, this animal mindset that you're going to go out there and you're going to do like 30 pull-ups and you're going to run 5 kilometers and you're going to do like 300 push-ups and you're going to do all that calisthenic stuff. Unless you have this mindset that you're going to set your mind to and do it every day, you're not going to get what you want. Because I see so many people that are like, oh, I'm just going to do bodyweight training. 6 months later, bro, what happened to you? Why are you bigger than you were before? Right?
Yeah. Well, what happens too is you don't, for me, I think a lot of people, I think most people are goal oriented, right? When you see something, when you see a result, you see something that is moving positive, all of a sudden you're getting that micro reward, like playing a game. It's the reason these, like every app and on your phone and all video games and everything is like, you'll give you micro rewards. Like you get a little bit of loot, you get a little money for completing a request, you get experience points, right? So when you go to the gym and you go that first time and you push, you're like, oh God, it hurts. Like after a couple weeks, you're like, I went up a weight this week. Oh man,
Yeah.
I can curl. Like I remember like the 15s, I couldn't even get, like I was lifting the 15s, I was doing curls and I couldn't even get 10. And now I'm on to the 20s, 20-pound weights now. And I could do like 10 20s. Oh my God, I'm getting stronger.
Yeah.
This is awesome. And you get those rewards. Or I can do 8 this week. And next week, you're like, I'm going to get 10. Next time I come back,
Yeah.
I'm doing 10. And you try to get that last and you get a reward. You get these micro rewards. And by doing that, you can measurably see how you gain it. Plus, we can get into the science of it. With bodyweight training, it's really hard to get what's called progressive overload. The translation of a big thing called progressive overload is this. Every single week, just straining your muscles a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You're not going to grow unless every week they get pushed up. Because your goal, your normal, if you're in the gym, your normal is constantly just inching up. And it's so easy to go, oh, let's stop at 30. But like, if you got the weights, I know I got to do 10. That's it, just 10. And you grab heavier weights, I got to do 10. So it's a lot easier because you're changing the weight, you're not changing the count. And at some point, you max on the counts.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why when people go and let's say you do a 3-set something, you always start you start at your normal, then you go 5 up and then 5 up.
Yeah.
Right. You always progress up. Right. So it's 5, 5 pounds or 5 kilos or whatever. You go 5 up. When you're going from set to set to set. Right.
Yeah.
So start out with something that's easy for you, then hit your weight, and then go 5 up your weight. Right. So that's kind of the mindset I like to do. When I first take friends to the gym, I always immediately throw the heaviest weights I have on them because I want to know, okay, what is your max, right? Once I know, okay, this is your max, and if you do this, you're going to die. So I step it 5 down or maybe 10 down, and then we'll work the way up there, right? So that's a good rule of thumb. The second great thing about going to the gym is when you go to the gym, you're in a social environment. If you don't know what to do, chances are there's some swamp monsters around there that are just jacked. Then they'll be more than happy to help you.
Yeah.
Right. You can always, hey bro, man, you got killer shoulders. How can I get boulder shoulders just like you? How can I get these big pecs just like you, bro? Oh, can you help me with my bench press? I don't really know what I'm doing. No one, I swear to God, there will be a couple of D-bags that won't care, but 90% of people who go to the gym just want to help you.
Yeah.
Right?
They'll be like, oh, bro, you're interested? Yeah, man, I'll help you out. Here, let me show you. And these guys will drop, like, if they're jacked, they will drop some wisdom on you. Like, they know, like, that you don't get big on accident. I don't care if you're pumped full of God knows what drug or whatever. You still don't get big on accident. Like, you still have to get up every day and go to the gym and spend hours there.
It's a process.
It is, and it takes years. So these guys, when you're there, these guys are jacked. They have been dedicated to the craft. I mean, whether they're on drugs or not, doesn't matter. They still have to get up every single day and push that number up every day and try to figure out. And then they get to a point where they got to get creative because they've maxed out all the machines in the gym. So these guys know, they forgot more than like guys like Mark and I even know. Like there's some gorilla looking dudes.
Yeah, man.
But
there's some crazy people out there.
And you'll be intimidated. Wow. I promise you, you're gonna be intimidated. You're gonna walk in the gym, and be like, "Whoa, these dudes are so jacked. I can't talk to this guy. He'll break me in half. He's like twice the size of a bouncer." Trust me, like you're in their world, and they are happy. They're like, "Hey, little man, let me help you out." Right? They're happy.
Let me help for real. Some of the when I switched gyms in Hong Kong from one of the more just casual gyms, it's called physical. I'm no Ho Ching Yong, So when I went to physical, that's when I kind of started. Everybody was like just there to be there, right? And they're not.
They're going through the motions.
They're not working out, but they've been doing the same weights for the last 6 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brother been looking the same way as the last 6 years. But when I switched gyms to where I was last at Waterfall, there was Waterfall they have a professional golf program, professional tennis program, and a lot of athletes actually go there and train. A lot of bodybuilders go.
So it's like a D1. The equivalent would be like a D1 like type gym.
Yeah, it's like a gym, like it's
a D1 level gym. Yeah, like you go. Yeah. So like you're going to get sport training.
One of the teams. Yeah, they used to sponsor one of the teams that we had, one of the football teams in Hong Kong. A lot of our boys go there as well. So like it's a very, it's got a lot of space, fantastic gym. I can't recommend it enough. But with them, like for me, here's a great feeling that you're gonna get once you start to get in the hang of going to the gym is you're gonna be able to start looking at, oh, I see that guy. I'm gonna catch up to him. It's a great place to set a visual target. Oh, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, then
I do
you're
it.
gonna, oh,
I
I
do
want
it
to be like
too.
that guy, right? And then you're gonna get confident and you're gonna push yourself harder. And then you're gonna see these other big dudes. You're like, man, I I gotta catch up to these guys. I don't want to be like the little guy amongst the sea of monsters, right?
Or maybe your goal is not to get big. Maybe your goal is to be strong. So I want like, okay, I want
Yeah,
to be the trim guy, but I want to be lifting the big weights, which you can do
exactly.
too. But let me give you some advice. The best advice I can give you, for me at least, is I've used an app called Beastly. I watched this guy. His name is David. What? David David De La Moreno, De Morenas. I forget his name. Oh my gosh. So anyway, he How to Beast is his YouTube channel,
Mhm.
and him, Max Tuning, and a bunch of other guys. But he's created an app. Again, I don't get paid on this. Whatever. It's called Beastly, and I will show you what it is. It's here we go. Let me pull it up. I mean, don't mind the half naked dude in here. This is the Beastly app right here, and it will show you your workouts for the day. So I finished my workout. This one, it'll give you the next one. And there's a bunch of programs. You can put your weight in. It'll track your weight. So like I'll preview next week's workout. Let me pull it up. So this is next week's workout, right? So I start with dumbbell lunges. I got 3 by 12. I got back row. And then if you want to watch, he has a video to show you how to do each one right. Like, hey, you want to do shoulders? Like you can do shoulders, but turn the machine around. Like turn around
Yeah,
backwards is the pro tip, right? Like
yeah, yeah.
you're gonna be on a backwards because you get better engagement. And like, okay, I got face pulls down here. Well, hang on, me. It's like that's trap bar, right? And I got
Hmm.
face pulls. And if you don't have like when you actually are running the actual day, there's a little gear like, oh man, there's no trap bar here. Like which you guys may be like, what's that? And by the way, I'm on intermediate. There's a beginner. There's like a bunch of beginner ones. There's
Hmm.
intermediate, and there's also advanced. I'm like in the intermediate. I'm in the middle. So if you're like, I don't even know how to use a trap bar, don't worry about it. Like there's a beginner one. It's like, just get on these machines. Like do these
Yeah,
machines, and what it'll do is every single week you just put your numbers. It shows like, okay, how many? Like, we want you to do 12 of this.
yeah,
All right, and you do your 12, and it's like, what was your weight? Okay, cool. Next week it's like, hey, you hit those, cool, and it'll give you the next weight. It'll tell you what to do. So it's like having a little trainer. And there's a bunch of apps like this. I found the Beastly apps probably the best. I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. It's a little bit pricey, but like $10 is nothing compared to a gym membership.
mhm,
Fantastic app. Has a built-in calorie tracker. If you guys are in the States, it's even better because it has like a barcode scanner. Or you can use MyFitnessPal. It's free. MyFitnessPal,
yeah.
the fitness that thing, but it's all in one. It actually has where it'll weigh you and stuff. It'll track if you have one of those Wi-Fi scales and all that garbage.
Hmm.
Um, but I just like this because I can walk in the gym, and if I'm like, oh God, it's a new set, and it changes you up. So every week you only do the same things for 4 weeks, and then it puts you in a whole new stuff because you got to confuse your muscles, right? If you go in and do the same workout, like Mark was saying, same guy doing the same workout, same weight every week, he's
Yeah,
not mixing up his workouts.
yeah.
Then you need to change it because your body will get used to it. You're not going to see the gains. You're not going to see the progressive
Hmm.
growth and the numbers moving as fast. So you'll like switch it up. It'll be something different for 4 weeks, and you'll come back to it again. You're like, oh wow, and you start getting some crazy numbers again. It's wild. Like, oh, I've been off this for 4 weeks. Now I can do a lot more. It's insane. It'll track everything for you. Super
Yeah.
cool app. Worth it. They have like a 30-day free trial. It's called Beastly. It's on the App Store. So just type in Beastly. The icon is red. It's pretty simple. It's let me just show you. It's like just show you my congratulations. It's that red icon right there, Beastly. So if you
There it
guys can,
is.
yeah, come on, focus.
It's
There
like
you
a
go.
bee on it.
Yeah,
There
B,
you
a B with
go.
a little circle around it. It's that one right there. That's it, Beastly. So check
Hmm.
out Beastly. It's really worth it. Probably one of the best put together apps out there. So Luke's asking, do I do the jump ropes? It's been a while because it's just been so bloody hot out and it's raining a lot because we had typhoons. I have not done the jump ropes. I am going to add the jump ropes back in for the 8 week shred.
Yeah.
For that, I use something called cross rope. They're kind of pricey to set you back. It'll set you back a couple $100 for the set. It's not cheap. They're weighted jump ropes. Meaning not the handles are weighted, the actual rope's weighted. And they have an app that comes with it. that gives you a ton of workouts. It's free, or there's a paid version, but that's only if you want to get to their old catalog of stuff. You don't need it. I lost a metric ton of weight on that, because you'll jump rope for like a minute and then they'll have you do like push-ups, jump rope, and then you'll do like burpees, jump rope, and something else. So you're mixing in some strength training.
Burpees, I just heard that.
Dude,
That was,
I know, dude. It's so
I
bad.
died a little bit.
Died a little bit. So you're getting some cardio, but you're not just doing like that endless treadmill. And jump rope's like a full body. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I think I lost like 8 or 10 kilos over like 6 or 8 months. A significant amount of weight. Again, eating right and just doing the jump rope program. But my thing was this: I wanted to lose, and then I started gaining. So it's worth it. If you want to do the jump rope, it's called cross rope. I mean, when the show's over, I'll link all the stuff. So FOV, yeah.
Yeah, about to turn into Alphonse in this conversation.
Bro, I don't think none of us are turning Alphonse, man. That boy's, I'm watching his deadlifts. I'm like, huh?
Look, man, you need some dedication.
Dude,
And
that bar of his on the deadlifts is like this. I've never seen a bar like, it's supposed to be like this. That bar is like that.
Yeah. You know, I think my heaviest deadlift I did was a 400 pound 2 rep, and that was my max.
No.
And then I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. But no, jump rope, awesome hit. The jump rope for me is pretty good because the cardio is so flippin' intense.
Yeah.
And you're done in 30 minutes. And you don't need to do more than 30. I'm serious. Like when I was doing jump rope, I maxed out at 30 minutes. And that was all I did in a day. And I ate right and I shredded so fast. So this time I'm going to try to keep my muscle. So I'll be doing I'm still debating 3 or 4 a week weights. But I'm doing kickboxing classes twice a week. God, dude, these cardio kickboxing classes I'm taking, Mark, I started on Friday back. It's been like 4 months. I got done. I'm just now not sore. Like today I was like, I'm like 30% sore still. Oh, I about died. Oh my
It's
God.
like me every Monday when I used to go to football practice. Every Monday.
Every
Monday I walk around the office.
It's the connecting.
It's
all these little tiny, like you hit the weights, but you don't hit the little ones, and it's just like,
yeah, man.
The
worst part about like football practice, man. Monday, the next day, you get like sore in places. You're like, why are my fingers sore? Why are my hands sore? Like, why are my hands sore? Why?
I just say, wait till I'm like, why are my hands sore? I'm like, oh, I was just doing punches, like I'm like this, and they become like the iron, and you're like, that's why my hands are sore there.
All the hand firing. It's like my fingers. Why are my fingers in pain? How am I gonna type?
Yeah. So bottom line is this. When you do this, you need to mix some sort of cardio, 30 minutes of some medium to high intensity cardio, at least twice a week. I would say let's easy mode. Go to the gym at least 3, probably 4 days a week, mixing cardio a couple times, 30 minutes, and you should be good. You can get shredded doing weights, but you have to be more dedicated with your food intake. You have to start.
Yes.
You need an app. If you want to get shredded doing weights alone, you're going to need an app to count your calories. If you want a bit of an easy mode, do some weights, do some cardio, mix them together, and you can be a little easier on the thing. Because like I'll do a jump rope workout, and that's like 400 or 500 calories, right? For like 35, 40 minutes or something like that, if I like stretch it to that point. Yeah. So like that's an entire like lunchbox meal. Well, I have like purple rice or quinoa or something, like a meat, like a protein, like a chicken or a fish, and some veggies. That's an entire lunchbox. That's a whole meal that's deleted that you ate.
I mean, not to sound super cliche, like the one thing that really helped me to kind of look at what my goals were and how to chart things with what I was doing is I had one of these. My Apple Watch since the first gen has really put so many things in perspective for me. How much I'm working out, what my estimated like my calorie burn. You know, I'll give it like a give or take. You know, a couple calories plus, couple calories below, but it gives you a pretty good band of like where you're at. Your health app on your iPhone charts a lot of what you're doing really well.
Android phone has the same.
Yeah. It has a lot of the, it has a lot of the specific exercises built in there, like traditional weight training is built into your Apple Watch. So you can sync that with your phone. So it gives you a really good break down, okay, this is how much you're doing, this is what you need to do, and these are where your goals are. It kind of does chart that for you very well. So that is a great low bar of entry, right? This is a great low bar of entry for you to go in. If you already have one of these smartphones, chances are you do, right? The first investment you could do is to get something that allows you to track where your goals are. Like how are you being able to tackle this, and stuff that you can visually see. Okay, this is what I'm doing, right? And then when you're able to, and then when you feel like you want to take it to the next level, then yeah, go ahead and start getting into some of these apps and going that way. And I think you'll see like a way quicker return on investment, and like what they say, an ROI of how much you put in when you start to do some of these things. So, John, now that we've gotten to this part,
by the way, I just put the links in there for Crossrope. I didn't have the links,
yeah,
but description in the Beastly app, both. And to give you the Beastly app, if you just want to do body, I mean, I don't recommend. I mean, if you can't do anything else, at least do body weight. You can't
yeah,
like buy weights right now. It has body weight, home weights, gym kind of mostly machine, and then gym like hardcore, like you're
yeah,
doing deadlifts and RDLs and all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
But I would say they have a beginner program. Just get in, you put your weight, you put your goal, like, hey, what do I want to do? It'll tell you your calories, you can track your food in it, you can do everything. The best $10 a month, I'm telling you.
yeah,
Like it's just a little bit of accountability. It's there. It'll kind
yeah,
of remind you, like, hey, it's time to work out. Kind of
yeah.
bug you a little bit. Um,
That's really the most important thing, guys. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're stay at home doing like body weight exercises, or if you're just gonna go do like stuff at the gym, gotta be consistent.
Yeah,
You
I
have to
started at
be
home. I
consistent.
bought a set of like the Bowflex adjustable weights and a
Yeah,
bench, and I started at home. I literally got the Beastly app and did like home gym version. Okay, cool.
yeah,
And I did everything at home for like the first year. Like so
hmm,
after I was doing jump rope and I was like, I need to gain muscle. I did a whole year of doing that until I maxed out the weights. I
yeah,
was like, okay, I'm doing like 20 something reps maxed out, with the 50s on my chest and I can't do anything anymore, like
yeah. Just just be honest with yourselves, guys. I mean, yeah, it's always what no one wants to pay extra for anything.
no.
Trust me. No one does it. No one likes to. But like for me, I know if I'm not paying for my gym membership, I don't have the swift kick in the butt to get me to go do something. I know this is me, and I know this, and I've been doing this for a good amount of years now.
Yep. I
Not
pay
as long as a lot of people, but
30-ish dollars a
I'm
month here
yeah,
for mine, 30 something. I
some yeah,
just renewed it today actually. Like this. This is a financial push for me. The app is so all in, I would say each month. So I do like here, it's Taiwan numbers, so it's cheap. So $30-ish for the gym membership. You can go anywhere you want. Like you can go to Planet Fitness in the States. You can I'm going to like the government run gym. Like I'm not going to like World Gym or anything like that. I'm just going to the government gym. It's fine. It works great. They got everything. So I do that. I get the monthly pass. I do the pre-workout. And again, think about it. It's 25 servings, but this is 25 only the days you go lift weights. So if you're only doing 3 days
yeah,
a week, it's like almost like 8 weeks, 8.5
hmm,
weeks, right?
yeah,
If you're doing
yeah,
4 a week, it's okay. So you're six-ish, weeks. So it's a little bit more than it sounds, right? And you don't want to start off with 2 scoops. Like that's a double scoop serving. So you can like
yeah,
ease in with the single scoop until you
yeah.
figure out
Just
how
do the
this stuff
single
feels.
soup. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 scoops will light your fire if you're not careful. But if you're not going to do the pre-workout, if you're going to do weights, you're really doing yourself a disservice if you don't pick up creatine.
Hmm.
It's so cheap,
Yeah.
like 15, $20. It's you can buy it on Amazon. You can find it any supplement store, GNC, you name it. Just
Yeah.
don't get caught up in the expensive fancy ones. The sales guy might try to sell you
Hmm.
out like, hey, give me the cheapest one you got. It's all the same
Yeah.
stuff.
So now that we come to the end of the show, what are your goals going to be?
For me, I need to shred. So I'm floating around 83-ish right now, sometimes a little above, like 83,
So
83.2.
what is that in units of freedom?
Units of freedom. Hey, Google, what's 83 kilos to pounds?
83 kilograms is equal to 182.984 pounds.
182.94. So 183 pounds is where I'm at right now. I was going to say, when I was doing the weights earlier, I was like floating around 175, 176, which is like 79 to 80. I think for me, I want to maintain my muscle build. I don't want to lose it, this is kind of a weird challenge for me. It's going to be very different than those of you that are watching your goals. So, I want to lose some. So I want in 2 months to be sitting at around 80 to 81, right?
Mhm.
So I want to be around that 80 to 81 mark, probably closer to 80. And that should get me to the body fat percentage I'm looking for. Knowing my body weight right now and all that,
Mhm.
that I think if I can lose in 2 months, if I can lose 2 kilos, I'll be happy. That's a kilo a month. I think it's a very attainable goal. That's half a pound a week, a little bit over half a pound, 0.6 pounds a week. That's a very nice, slow burn, attainable weight loss goal. And that's just changing up a lot less of this and just adding in. Because by the way, like if you drink like an average beer is like almost 200, like honestly, especially one of these fruit ones. A regular beer, like a light beer, is over 100 calories, and that's pure carbs too. Like so, that's just it goes in the carb bucket of your macros. So my goals are lose body weight, fat.
Right.
For me, I want to shred down. I've been spending the past 4 months bulking. I think I put on 2 to 3 kilos of muscle, and I want to lose 2 to 3 kilos of fat. That should get me to the body weight percentage I'm looking for. You should be able to see at least at that point, because right now it is good shape I am. You still can't see my abs. Like maybe the top row, maybe the top ones you can kind of barely see. You can see my obliques. I got the little do on the side, but my abs, the top one, you can probably see. The rest of them, nope. I do carry a lot of weight around that middle, especially my love handles. I've never been able to shake that, all that brown fat. So I think 80 to 81. I'll be happy with 81. I'll be ecstatic at 80.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I am sitting right now. I weighed in on Saturday, and I texted you about this. I am sitting now at 93 kilograms flat, so that's 205.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting at 205, and then when I texted you, I immediately my monkey brain was like, "Oh man, let's just go up. This is 210, 215."
Yeah, you're like bulk.
And I was like, and I realized I'm not playing football anymore.
No, man. God, no.
But yeah, so I think I'm gonna come down to about 190. So
15
that,
pounds.
that's
You're going to
yeah,
lose 50 pounds in 2
that's
weeks?
in 8 weeks.
Oh, in 8 weeks. I'm sorry. Yeah, 8 weeks, 15 pounds?
So that's about 87 kilograms, give or take. Realistically, the goal, if I can get about 190, if you guys watched Red Wolf from back in the day, I would look like how I looked back in 2018. That's kind of where I was. 2018, I was sitting at 189 for like a year, and I was trying so hard to break that 189 barrier. Because that's when I was first starting to go back and play football. And so that's probably somewhere I'm going to go. So probably realistically 190 to 195, give or take. That band would be pretty good for me. Right now I'm sitting pretty good. Like I took my first week 1 progress pictures because I've been talking to you guys about this, right? Like I've already been prepping for this like a month, 2 months.
Please
out.
don't send nudes. We don't see nudes.
That's okay. It's only semi
nudes. Yeah, pants.
Semi
Pants are required for your pre photo. I'll do
Yeah.
pre photos too. God knows you probably don't want to see me before.
So like I won't upload these until like the challenge is done in 8 weeks. So I'll have like 8 photos that we can flip through. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna do that. So right now my build, I sent producer some photos today. I got the 4 back. So I got the four abs back. The bottom 2 are starting to come back out. The obliques are back. Shoulders need to get a little bit more buffed out, but shoulders always been a pain in the butt.
Dude, my shoulders grow so well. That's like I'm so lucky my shoulders are rounded like the way they are. But
yeah.
On the point, we're talking about weights. Like I'm only wanting to lose 2, but the whole point is I'm actually probably going to lose if I do my goals right. I should lose about 4 kilos of fat and put on another 2 kilos of muscle. So I'm doing what I'm actually doing right now. I know it's called cut, but Mark's going to go for a pure cut.
Yeah.
I'm going for a recomp. And that's the hardest thing to do. You got to really count your stuff to recomp because you want to lower your body fat and also maybe put on a little bit of weight at the same time. So you have to walk that razor thin edge of macros. So we'll see. I may readjust my goals halfway through. I may just switch to a cut and then get all the way cut down, because it's easier to cut all the way down and then bulk again than to do the opposite. We'll see. But maybe I'll lose more. Maybe 3. We'll see. Maybe I can get down to 79. Who knows? But that'd be 4 kilos if I do that. That's a lot.
Well,
And my weight.
I think that's
Plus,
I think
man,
that's
I got to think. I got a
realistic goal.
decade on you. I got 10 full years on you. So it's a lot harder at my age than your age to get results. So
Well, to be honest, like it's harder for me now than it was 3 years ago. Like I can even feel it.
Are we 10 years apart?
Feel it. I'm 35.
Yeah, we're 10.
Right.
We're a decade apart. Yeah.
So even for me now, like recovery for me is even just from 3 years ago when I was 32. Like it was just I can feel the difference. Right? It's not.
Yeah,
It's not.
I started my downward turn where I was like, oh, I gotta watch what I'm eating. Like it happened like not at 30, but like 32 ish is right when mine started just, and around to 35, I was like, ooh, like that's when I could really feel.
So for me, like I'm really trying. I still gotta really push through a lot. That's why like I want to take the supplements. I want to do the fat burner. I want to take the pre-workout. So that's really important for me. So let's get into some questions. So Ho Chin Young has a really good one. Any suggestions for basic training for upper body without any equipment? So Luke,
Because he's got ACL injury, so like you definitely your lower body. I would definitely look at someone in sports medicine before you go hardcore doing anything lower body. Like with ACL injuries, multiples. Like we're not here to give you the right advice on that part. Like find someone who's in sports medicine, talk to them about that. Upper body, Mark, what do you think?
So Luke, you said push-ups, great. Also, key thing when you're doing push-ups, it's really important to know what angle you're doing, right? So a lot of people like put their arms out like this. What you want to do is you want to tuck it in about a good 45-degree, right? And then when you push, you want to be able to squeeze this middle portion of your chest. So when you push out, you should feel your chest here bulging out, and you should feel a nice squeeze right here in the middle.
Yeah, let me try to get
So
that
when you
crack
push,
there.
right?
So when you push, like you can see like the
you wanna
shirt,
push.
see how the shirt comes together? So when you're pushing, which I'll like this, you want to, and you get that, like, here we go. I'm kind of flexed, that crack.
That's right. So that's what you want to get. Also, little form tip, if you guys are going to be able to, they're going to go to the gym. If you want to isolate anything in here, your shoulders, always keep your shoulders back. Get your shoulders back. Your back should be straight. So when you're doing any kind of chest work, so my back is straight. So if I push forward, you're going to see my chest arch out this way. So that really isolates in everything you have here. So when you're any kind of push, you always want your shoulders to be back. So you're isolating everything in the front.
So back,
don't
back
shrug
like
your
that.
shoulders forward.
What I do
Keep
is
your
this:
shoulders
as
back.
when I sit down on the bench press, or if you do any kind of even push-ups. So when you do push-ups, like get in the upper position like this, and you're naturally going to be like, I'll turn sideways. You're naturally going to be like this, like holding yourself up, and you see how my shoulders are rolled. Watch, and then you want to go like this, right? And that's your
right.
like so. That's a no, and that's what everybody does. And you're going to put more strain on your arm. So this is what's going to take all the work. So if you drop back like this, now you go down and then up. And you want to try the whole time like you're trying to pinch something in your shoulder blades. Keep those shoulders back. It's going to be hard at first, like for real hard.
It is.
So,
and it's the same mistake a lot of people who do pull-ups do as well. When a lot of people who do pull-ups do the same thing, just let themselves hang, right? And they try to pull, and when they try to pull, they're just engaging their tricep, right?
Yeah, you're just like
what
this.
You want to do is when you pull, the first thing that should move is your shoulders. You should go from here, right? This should be your first motion, and then you go up. Because when you engage this way, you're engaging your traps, your rear, your muscle. Not your
once
traps.
Once you do that,
your lats,
you're bad. Like once you hang loose, and you're like your head nests in, it's like up like this, and that's your down position. Yeah.
So when I go and when I do any kind of back workout, I always start with maybe 3 or 4 pull-ups, just so I can isolate things in my back. I hang. Right? The moment I hang, my first one is this motion to get my back up. It's an isolated motion. So 1, 2, 3, and I hold myself there and I let go back down, and then this. So it's going one step at a time, and I'm isolating each movement to get my back fired, and then I can get into a back exercise. So
So
that's just a little tip for you guys to do upper body.
yeah, any kind of workout too. Some other things to think about that help you. Doing compound exercises will help burn more energy and give you better
Yeah.
results. Like push-ups are multiple muscles versus like just a single arm curl, right? You can curl anything
Yeah.
you find around your house, you can just curl it, like whatever, you know? But like push-ups, squats, like hold something heavy and do goblet squats. Like you can hold a gallon of milk, right? Or whatever, it's heavy, gallon, like a jug of water, like 4 liters, and just do some squats and just make sure you do the right form. Google online, watch videos of the proper form of these things. So you can do stuff at home, but the point will give you better results, right? This is the really important thing is whatever you have. Do we want to get into concentric and eccentric motion?
No.
Basically this,
No.
if you're like, here's what I do. If you're going to do a push up, and this is kind of the mindset, you'll push up, right? And on the way down, if you go slower,
Yeah.
it adds so much more effort. So like Mark was saying, like if you do a pull up, he's holding. So he's making his muscles stay and continue to fire. And then on the way down, go slow. Don't be like, oh, drop. Okay, pull up and oh, drop. Like on the way down, go slower than you did going up. On the way when you do a push up, you're a push up. And on the way back down, slower. Do it a curl up quicker or normal speed and curl down slower. You will always get a better result. You may only be able to do 5 and you're like, well, I could do 10 the other way. Those 5 are better 5.
Yes.
Always.
They're way better. Yeah. It
So-
also helps you build explosive strength in your body. So like when we're doing training, like when we're playing football, right? We always want to have like, violent hands. We want to have explosive hands when we fire at, whoever we need to tackle or we need to block. And that's what we do, right? So what you want to do is you want to take your heavy weight. Let's just say you're doing the bench press. Once you get it off the rack, you slowly come down, hold it in place for a split second, and you take everything you have, all of the power you have inside, fire it straight up, and then you're going to slowly bring it down. You're going to slowly bring it down, and you're going to fire it straight up. And then you're going to think, right, man, I could bench press so much more weight than a plate and a half, right? But if I do it like this, best I can do is a plate and a half. So, but that's what I do, right?
It's
I'm
better.
At the same time, I'm building size and strength at the same time, right? So like, just to kind of give you again, a super basic concept into this is if you want a bigger size, you usually do a lower weight, higher rep count, right?
Yeah.
If you want to do strength, it's you want to
It's good to know.
overload with the weight.
You can go up normal speed, come down slower. If you continue to make that a habit of every exercise you do, whatever the push or the pull. So if you're doing pull, the pull part can be normal speed. The release should be very slow.
Yes.
The push, if you're doing a push, the push part can be normal speed. The release back down should be slow. If you do that, because everything's a push or a pull, that's it. You have nothing else in exercise. You're either pushing or you're pulling when you do a workout. So whatever you do on the opposite, the eccentric, the what they call it, that's the return to start the exercise again. That part, if it's slow, you will end up so much better. So you will get, let's say 10, I don't know what the number is, but I'm sure like 10, 15% better results by doing that. Maybe, who knows? Like I'm just throwing numbers out, right? But you're going to see better results. You will get better gains. You'll get better, stronger. You'll get bigger, faster by going slower. It sounds weird, but what you're doing is you're putting those muscles in the reverse under stress longer time. So there's science behind it. It's called time under tension.
Yeah.
The longer your muscles stay in stress, which is that slow return, they're under that stress, they're under that weight, where there's a push up, it's a bench press, it's whatever it is. The Mark was talking about blasting it up and then slowly bringing it down. Your muscles are going to get a better workout. They're going to get those little bitty tears in them, and they're going to rebuild stronger because they're like, whoa, this was hard. I need to be better next time. And they rebuild. But you got to feed them protein. At least a gram per pound of body weight. So basically, what did they say? 1.8 grams per kilo is kind of the baseline.
Yeah.
So 1.8 grams of protein per kilo. If you guys aren't at least getting a gram per kilo, which you may not even be in a day, you're not going to see any gains in the gym. You really need to be like 1.8 to 2. Some people say 2. There's different science behind each one. But I would say 1.8 grams per kilo of your body weight. Or you could even say, a lot of people say 1 gram per pound of body weight also works. So
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, these are just, you know, real basic good rule of thumb. So this is what we're going to be doing going into our
Yep.
challenge. You know, and you guys will see some, you guys will start to see some changes and stuff like that. You know, I still post regularly on my Instagram. Every time I'm at the gym, I always post it because, you know, if you don't post on Instagram, did you even go to the gym?
Yeah. If you didn't post your gym selfie,
Yeah.
did you go to the gym?
Come
I
on.
never, you know, I never did
Did
gym
you?
selfies. You know, I don't even have a personal IG. I should get one, shouldn't I?
I don't know. Airsoftology is not good enough.
Airsoftology.
It's
Is
not
that
good enough for
what
you.
I'm posting weight, like airsoftology in the gym? That's not gym. That's, should I do that?
Everybody like, wow, man, Jono, have you finally reached midlife crisis?
Yeah,
And
no
I
kidding.
got post
They'll be
gym
like,
pics.
oh, you got gym pics, you're growing your hair out. You know, what's going on, Jono?
Yeah, you're dressing in clothes that's too young for you. You know, you're going to the gym, posting gym
Hey,
pics, posting,
I haven't
you
bought a
know,
Corvette or a Harley yet. We're safe.
are starting to talk to girls 10 years younger than you. Uh-oh.
Oh,
I've outed myself.
yeah. Anyway, oh,
Yeah, that's right, Stu. If it ain't on the gram, it didn't happen.
bam. Yep, that's true. But yeah, that's kind of something. I know we threw a lot at you. Yeah, never. I'm not Leo, man. I'm not Leo. I don't do the. But Discord could be good for it. Yeah, God, I know, Luke. You keep trying to get us to do it. We need to do a Discord. We have to do it. We have to do it.
Yes, you need to do the Discord.
Hey, I'm actually trying to launch the Airsoftology live stream like each week. That's gonna happen. I got to do it. It's gonna do it
Well,
this week.
then while you're at it,
While I'm at it, I might as well throw the Discord out there for hopped
while
up.
you're at it.
Throw a hopped up Discord out there. But yeah, Discord would be a good place for this. I feel like that would be solid. We build a community in Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it. But yeah, I mean
Well,
that's it. I know we threw a lot at
this
you.
is really working now because I'm sitting here. I'm
Dude,
just
you look
sweating
lit.
the beat.
Dude, you
Bro,
look
I'm
lit.
just sweating. I'm just
look-
sitting here doing nothing, and I'm sweating.
You
My
look-
air conditioner's on too.
you look pretty fired up.
Oh my goodness.
But really, the secret is this. I know we threw so much at you. Go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week for weights. Do cardio at least a few times a week. You can also mix those numbers up 3 times in the gym, 3 or 4 times for cardio if you're looking for more of a cut at first, but you need to be building some level of muscle. And just eat right. I know it's so basic. We said like, hey, watch what you eat and go to the gym. I know it's so basic. We gave you a lot more detail than that. But it does take time.
Mm-hmm.
The last bit of advice I can give you before we wrap this whole show is you will start the process and you will see almost zero results for the first 2 or 3 weeks. And you're going to be
I was
discouraged.
just about to say that. I was about to say the
It
same thing.
You're going to be like, dude, I'm doing exactly what Mark and Jonathan told me to do. It's like 3 weeks now. My scale still says the same number. I don't see anything. I look in the mirror. I look the same. I promise you, all of us, me too. Like for the first 3 weeks of this shred, the before picture will almost be like the same thing. No change, no change, no change. And around week 4, all of a sudden your body's like, all right, fine, dude. You want to lose weight? Okay, fine. I'll give you what you're looking for. And all of a sudden the scale will like, bloop, bloop. And you're like, oh, what happened? Like what happened? And then like the next week. And then by like like the last 2 weeks, you will see all the changes. I'm dead serious. Like the first 3 weeks, nothing. The last 2, it's like you put 3 months of work in those last 2 weeks.
That's right. That's right.
It's true. So stick with it. I'm serious.
Don't give up, because like for me, I didn't see any noticeable differences until I was 9 months in. 9 months in, and I looked in the mirror and I finally realized, oh my God, I have chest muscles, right? I was like, oh my God, I have a pec. I have pecs. Wow. And it was one of those things like, you know, it was like, oh, all this hard work, right? Because I'm gonna tell you, there's gonna be multiple moments. You're gonna be like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Especially if I hate to say it like this, because this is what happened to me earlier on. Especially if you surround yourself with people who don't support you, they'll say, oh, ha ha ha, look at you going to the gym and you still look the way you do. Trust me, that was my ex-girlfriend and her friends. So trust me, you gotta
negative people are going to be negative.
Yeah.
People that are down, like people that live in the dumps are going to be in the dumps.
That's right. So
they're going to try to pull you down. When the time
it.
you try to drag yourself up and out of that pit, they're going to try to reach up and pull you down. Nobody wants to see anybody else succeed.
Nobody wants to do that. So, you know, that's what we got a good community here. You know, And I think that's something
Find
that we
someone
all have to
above
be.
you to pull
Mhm.
you up. If you're down here with everybody else, they're only going to keep you down, man.
That's
You
right.
got to find
That's right.
people that are motivating, that are like just take, and even if it's just coming here every week, like
Yep.
for real. Even if you do 8
Talk
weeks
about it
and
in
you
chat,
yeah,
you
you
know?
don't see any number changes, but you worked out for 8 weeks straight and now your cardio's better. You may notice it all of a sudden like, wow, I can hit those stairs and I don't have to breathe heavy at the end of the stairs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Hey,
man, this is
I
good.
can bend over and tie my shoes, and I'm not a big sweaty mess standing back up.
And that's no
right?
joke. Like that's a real thing. Or like for me, the biggest thing was when we were at Haley Strategic in the rope.
Yeah.
Remember the rope there to go to the loft? And I
Yeah.
was like, you climb it. I was like, I don't think I can do that. I've never been able to climb a rope without like, and don't use your legs. I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do this. And I went up the thing. I was like, bloop, 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 bloop. I was like, holy crud, I could do this. I was like, I could, and it was like nothing. I'll get to the top and I was like, okay, maybe I'm all right now. Like that was like an epiphany moment for me that I still doubted myself like 2 years into working out. So don't let it discourage you. Like you'll be really surprised. All of a sudden you'll wake up and you realize like, oh God, that used to be hard. Or lifting that gallon of milk was heavy and now it's like light, or like I can move this box. There's just little wins are big wins. So don't be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged.
We'll be here to pump you up every week.
That's right. Be consistent. Don't be discouraged. Don't give up. If you're feeling different, if you're feeling down, you're feeling like it's hard for you to do it. YouTube got a bunch of motivational stuff. You just play it in the background and you can do it.
Yeah.
Right. Trust me. There's moments where I need a swift kick in the butt. I'll put on some Ray Lewis and he'll scream into my ear talking about, he's ticked off for greatness. And then I'll go and, do, 300-pound squat.
Yeah. And then Mark will text me afterwards like, bro, I just hit this. I'm like,
oh, 140.
Yeah, do it. like
back in the 300 club, baby.
Like as soon as I hit 200 on the bench, I was like, the very first, I was like, I hit 200 on the bench. I rep 200.
Yeah,
I know. I was like,
right
I was like,
too.
oh my God. It's like those, you got to have somebody you share it with, and you guys can share it with us.
That's
we
right.
want to hear every single one. Like next week, hey man, I did 10,000 steps 3 times last week. Freaking heck. That's awesome. Awesome.
Yep,
Go do
that's
it.
right.
Whatever it is, do it. Let's share our wins.
That is correct. That is correct. And with that positive note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out on a Monday. Ooh, I'm a sweaty mess. I think
You are, man. You got to watch that bird. Are you going to sleep tonight?
I'll be okay. What's your IG? Got you. Mine is Real Mark West. Real and then MRCKWEST. Real Mark West. Now I'm gonna type it in.
I got it. You got it?
Yep.
All right.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, FOV Airsoft. Any follow, I'm happy to accept.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me. Just go ahead, follow me. I'll shoot you a follow back too, brother. Don't worry. Man, I am so sweaty.
Dude,
right
you
now.
look so sweet.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Mark's got to go stand in the cold. How cold is it? What's the temperature outside right now?
Oh, outside right now it is. Yikes! It's 81 outside. It's like 20 something.
Yeah, a little too warm to
I'm just
go
gonna
chill
take a
out.
cold shower.
Go take a cold shower,
I'm just gonna
man.
take a
Just
cold
cold
shower.
shower.
Cold shower. Yeah.
All right.
This stuff really works, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I'm gonna get some bucked up. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna order
spicy mango juice. I tell you what's up.
I'm running low. I'm like literally this is like on its last scoop. So I gotta get the real. I'm gonna get some bucked up. So we'll give it a shot.
Yep. Well, with that said, guys, until next week, we're gonna start talking about how our weeks went. With how we're
we want to
feeling.
hear from you. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you like like the next 8 weeks is going to be far more interactive than we are even currently, because we want it to be a two-way conversation. Like
we're doing this together.
Yes,
we're in this together. Yeah.
And I'll tell you my wins. I'll be like, I got on the scale, it's still the same weight. And you're going to hear my disappointment because it's a reality, right? I don't expect my number to change for a week. So
Yeah. Well, with that said, guys, until next week.
Stay hopped up. See ya. Find my mouse. How do you turn this thing off? See you guys.